Today I will give you an intuitive Brant guide, so that you don't ever have to reread his kit ever again because you forgot how he worked or what he even does. Let's get to it. The most important thing with Brant is that we want to cast his enhanced skill, which is indicated by this red glowing skill icon. And why do we want to cast this enhanced skill? Because 1, it does a lot of damage and it generates a nice purple shield. So then naturally the question arises, how do we cast this enhanced skill then? We need to make sure this forte bar of his is full like this. When that is the case, only then he is able to cast this enhanced skill. Then his skill will glow like red, like this. Okay then, how do I fill this forte bar then? Well, to fill it, you need to gain Bravo. That's what this forte bar values are called. So gain Bravo. So if it isn't filled like this, it will be looking like this. So gain Bravo. So what do I need to do to gain this Bravo then? Well, there are 3 ways to get Bravo. The first way is to cast your intro skill of Brant. The second way is to cast your normal attacks. So heavy attacks, basic attacks, all that stuff. And the third way is to cast skill 1. So these are the 3 ways you can generate Bravo for Brant. What now? Well, we also have his ultimate, which is also pretty important for his kit. So cast ultimate. Why is his ultimate important for us? Well, first of all, the gaining of Bravo when casting your normal attacks and your skill 1, the gain is increased. So the efficiency of gaining the Bravo is increased by 100% specifically. The other benefit is that we gain attack. Now, what is this attack gain based on then? It is based on how much energy regeneration he has above the 150 energy regeneration. So every 1% energy regeneration he has, which is above 150% energy regeneration, he will get plus 20 attack. But the max attack he can get is capped at 2600 attack. So how much energy regeneration does he need in total then? Well, that is easy to calculate luckily. It is just 2600 divided by 20 is 130. So 130% energy regeneration above the 150 is, so this plus 150% means he needs 280% energy regeneration in total to get the max attack. But getting this energy regeneration is pretty difficult. The aim with your build is to just get it as close as possible to this as you can. So we want to have 280%, that's our aim, to get it as close as possible to it. But 250% also alright, because the echo set I will be using for him then requires him to have 250%, since it will increase his attribute damage or something. And that echo set was called something courage. So basically all you really need to do is get as much energy regeneration as you can with Brant. And if you go with this courage echo set, hit the 250% and you're good to go. What now? Well, Brant, his ultimate also heals your team, which is pretty sweet. And the last thing his ultimate does is of course damage, and it launches him into the air. But there is also another way Brant can heal your team, and that is that he heals your team every quarter of his forte gained. So he can actually hold 100 Bravo. Every 25 he gains, he will heal your team. So when building up his forte, he will heal your team the whole time by a little bit. So we see entering this aflame state is pretty beneficial for Brant, but it only lasts for 12 seconds, which is more than enough to do his rotation luckily. And it also ends when you cast the enhanced skill of Brant, which is not really a biggie since you would have already been done with the rotation of Brant at this point. So alright, what else do we need to know about Brant? Well, we obviously see that entering this aflame state is pretty important before we do anything else, since we get a lot of attack from it. Our Bravo gain is increased by it when we cast our skill 1 or normal attack, and that when that Bravo is full, we can cast enhanced skill, which gives us a shield and does lots of damage. But what is this normal attacking actually? What does it consist of? You might have already seen him flying. But how does this whole flying attacks combo wombo thing work exactly? But luckily it is pretty simple, since his air normal attacks is basically him grappling to the enemy the whole time, and then he flips back, grapples again, flips back again. It's literally bouncing between the enemy the whole time. So let's dig deep into this air normal attacks of Brant, how it exactly works. So let's say we are in the air, since we want to attack with Brant in the air, alright? So this is Brant in the air. And how do we enter the air? Well, when you cast his ult, he enters the air. When you cast his intro, he enters the air. And when you cast his skill, he enters the air. And of course, when you jump with him, he's also in the air. So 4 ways for Brant to enter the air: jumping, introing with him, casting his ult, or casting skill 1. And all of this will be considered normal attacking with Brant, which will regenerate Bravo for us. Okay, we're in the air. What now? Well, when you press your basic attack in the air, and there's an enemy of course, because you're fighting against an enemy, and that basic attack is called a mid-air attack. So you press on that basic attack once, bam, and there's an enemy here. This pressing on the basic attack we'll launch Brant to this enemy with his grapple, which will of course do damage to the enemy. So he will get a stomp on his head, like bang. Okay, what now? Well, we have two options. The first thing we can do is hold our basic attack button. We are in his face. If we hold the basic attack button now, we will continuously attack him like a Beyblade. So we get many stomps on his head. The other option we have is releasing the basic attack button. So flipping. So we flip. And what does this flip mean? Well, we basically end up at the same position as in we were before. So we cast our mid-air attack, we press the basic attack button, we attacked him, we release that basic attack button, and we go away from him. So we flip backwards. So we are in this state again now, which gives us another option, which is casting our basic attack again, which is called the mid-air attack 2. But there is one thing left, and that is, well, what happens when we finish our attack when holding this basic attack button now? Well, when we have done all these attacks on him while holding that basic attack button, Brant will automatically do this flip when he is done attacking him. So we will end up in this situation no matter what. If our attack hits the enemy, of course. Since there is this thing, if the attack doesn't hit the enemy, Brant will do a forward slash or fall down, whatever. Basically what it comes down to, when Brant's on the ground, jump again in the air, cast his skill, his ultimate, whatever, get up in the air, and continue pressing or holding down your basic attack button. Okay, what now? Well, luckily for us, in this case, with the mid-air attack 2, the same things happen as with the mid-air attack 1. You still have the same two options, just like this. But when does it get different? Well, that is with the mid-air attack 3. Since now we don't have the option to hold down our basic attack button to do continuous attacks. Brant will now automatically flip back when he's done with his sequence, which is mid-air attack 4. So now that we're at the last mid-air attack, we press that mid-air attack, we won't flip back anymore. Now what will happen is, after that attack, Brant will go back on the ground, just like this. So what does this really consist of? Mid-air normal attacking specifically, since we don't want to be on the ground. Since when you're on the ground, Brant will do less damage. In the air, he will do more damage. We are in the air, you press basic attack, we grapple onto the enemy. We have two options, release our basic attack button and we flip back, which gives us the possibility to press basic attack again to do our mid-air attack 2, or we can hold down our basic attack button to do many attacks, and then we'll automatically flip. Continue that with the mid-air attack 2. Well, with mid-air attack 3, you just automatically flip back. When you press the basic attack button, Brant will do a last attack and he will be on the ground. That's it basically. And the interesting thing to notice, we can dodge in the air, and every time we flip, it will reset that dodge for us. So when we dodge in the mid-air, it will not interfere with our mid-air attack sequence. So if we dodge in mid-air attack 3 because enemy is attacking us, we will not start again in mid-air attack 1. We will then continue with mid-air attack 4 if we hit that mid-air attack 3 then. And this leads to the other thing with Brant's kit, and that is that Brant, his intro, when you cast it, yes, it will put him in the air, but it will start his mid-air sequence in mid-air 2. So we would have skipped this part, which is not really a big problem, since Brant regenerates so much Bravo that we wouldn't even need this first part of his mid-air sequence if you had intro with him, because his intro also regenerates Bravo, as we know. But of course this whole attack sequence is needed if you did not intro with him, since we would have been missing that intro Bravo. So we know being in the air with Brant is pretty important, so we can do our mid-air attacks. Well, that brings me to my next point, and that's that when you're in the air, your skill will transform into another skill, so skill 2. And when you cast that skill 2, Brant will plunge to the ground, which is not really something we want. Well, maybe in different situations and different enemy setups, but in his general rotation, I don't see him ever using his skill 2 to plunge them specifically, since we can animation cancel his skill 2 with his ultimate. So when you cast skill 2 and you immediately cast your ultimate, then he won't plunge into the ground, he will be still in the air. But if you were in a situation where you introed with Brant, so you're in the air, and you cast your skill 2, and you immediately animation cancel that with your ultimate, Brant, his mid-air attack sequence will not start from mid-air attack 2 again, but it will start with mid-air attack 1, because this skill 2 resets his mid-air attack sequence. It is really no biggie actually, just hold down his basic attack button, your Bravo would have been filled, you cast your enhanced skill, and you're good to go basically. So with all this in our mind, let's do a rotation example with Brant then. And this rotation example will be done with the Courage Echo set in mind. So what do we know with Brant? The most important thing we want to do with Brant is intro, since we get Bravo and we will be launched into the air, and it starts us at the mid-air attack 2 sequence. It's no biggie, we can miss that mid-air 1 attack sequence since we get so much Bravo. And all you need to know is, when you are doing your attacks and you see your skill is glowing, you just press the skill and you're good to go. So okay, we entered with Brant, we are in the air, what now? Well, we know that we want to cast our ultimate, since it will increase our Bravo efficiency and give us lots of attack. So step 2 is cast ultimate. And luckily you can cast your ultimate even though you're in the air. And if you had sustain issues, we also heal from this ult. Okay, what now? We have cast this ult, we are still in the air. Our Bravo gain is increased, we have increased attack, our team is healed. What now? Well, we can now do our normal attacks to charge up our Bravo to 100. And we know because we intro skilled, we start right here. So we press the basic attack button, step 3. And we decide to hold that basic attack button to do continuous attacks to the enemy. So still step 3. And then we will automatically flip back and be in the situation. What's our option now? Well, is my Bravo full? Not yet, maybe it is. If you did a lot of dodges here and there and attacked. But let's say it did not fill. Okay, so I need to continue doing my mid-air attacks. Okay, I will now press basic attack button, which will cast mid-air attack 3. I will automatically flip back. I'm still in the air. What now? I look. Is my forte filled? Is my skill glowing? Maybe it is. At this point, it should be. If it is, well, easy. Step 5 would be then cast my enhanced skill, which does lots of damage to the enemy. We get a nice shield. What now? Well, at this point, this would have already been charged to 100, so we can cast our outro skill. But before we outro, we need to remember we have our echo. And in this specific example, we are using the Courage echo set, and the 4-cost echo in our echo slot is called Dirge. It's that dragon thingy. So step 6 would be then press on my echo button and summon that Dirge dragon. And we can easily animation cancel that with our outro, of course, which would be step 7. And what's the benefit with Brant's outro? Well, the incoming resonator will get increased fusion damage and increased skill damage. And that's the whole flow of Brant. So 7 steps basically. We intro into him, we cast our ultimate immediately to get all the bonuses like healing the team, gaining increased Bravo gain efficiency, gain attack, while we're still in the air because we can cast our ultimate in the air. We do our step 3, so holding down our basic attack button, which will automatically flip us back, put us in this situation. So we decide to press our basic attack button again, because we see my forte is not 100 yet. And after that, mid-air attack 3, we see, oh, it is now filled because my skill is glowing red. Well, we press our skill, we cast our echo, and then we immediately animation cancel that with our outro, and we're good to go. So that would be a super simple, basic Brant rotation in the perfect scenario. But of course, you're fighting against an enemy, you're dodging the wall time, so maybe your Bravo would have been full already before you could cast your basic attack 3. That's possible too. Or you dropped on the ground because you missed attack because the enemy is moving the wall time, causing Brant not being able to grapple onto the enemy. That's possible too. It's just basically make sure that before you do your wall combo, that you have cast your ult to get all the benefits. Do not miss your enhanced skill. That's his main damage of Brant, and you will be all fine with him. And you know what the funny thing is? I don't even have Brant. I don't have enough pulls in Wuthering Waves. Since Phoebe stole literally all my pulls I had saved in that summoning session. Because when I did a pull for every push-up I did when summoning for Phoebe, I had no enough pulls. That's the first time that ever happened in my summoning session. So I just pulled for Phoebe off screen, got her luckily, but I have now literally like 30 pulls. So I will be summoning for Brant whenever I have like 80 pulls or something. And I hope I win the 50-50. So I will see you then. I thank you for paying attention and see you the next time. Bye.